So you don't need to be in coffee meetings 5 days a week to grow your business. You can use LinkedIn to do the exact same thing, but from your office, from your living room, or between meetings. Because when you consistently share value, when you comment thoughtfully, and message others with genuine interest, something important happens. You start to build relationships. And those relationships are the foundation for everything. I'm Sylvie Garibaldi, founder and CEO of a well-established marketing training and done-for-you services company, tailored specifically for the modern legal and financial professional worldwide. While it's taken some trial and error to figure out which methods get the best results for professionals who are looking to grow their practices, fast forward to today, my team and I have nailed down and perfected a process that has helped so many of our clients consistently achieve outstanding results and create a legacy for their practices. I created the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast to give you simple, actionable, non-salesy, and results-driven marketing to grow your legal or financial practice like so many of our clients have. If you're a lawyer, mediator, financial, or divorce professional who is looking to become highly visible and wants to create a practice that makes an impact, then you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 81 of the Serve First, Sell Later marketing podcast. I'm your host, Sylvie Garibaldi. And if you've ever opened LinkedIn, posted something helpful, and then crickets, meaning no likes, no comments, no new clients, you're definitely not alone. And I hear this all the time from very smart professionals. And they tell me things like, LinkedIn isn't working for me. I'm not getting enough engagement. It feels like a waste of time. Or maybe you've told yourself, I'll start posting once I kind of figure this all out, once I know what I need to say. Or you may be thinking, I don't have enough experience to really add anything of value to my audience. And here's what I want to tell you today. LinkedIn is working. It's already working for the people who've decided to show up consistently, even when it feels like no one is watching. Because here's the truth. Most people on LinkedIn are watching. They're just not engaging. Maybe you've noticed that. But they are noticing and they are hiring the people who keep showing up with value. In fact, I'm not sure if you know this, but approximately 6% of LinkedIn users post content regularly. What does this mean? This means that 94% are just scrolling and lurking. Let that set in for a moment, because what this means is the professionals who do post consistently are getting all the visibility and traction because there's barely any competition. So today I'm pulling back the curtain on why LinkedIn is quietly becoming one of the most powerful business building tools for lawyers, mediators, and divorce professionals, even if your following is small. Even if you're not an influencer, and even if you don't even have a single like on a post. And I'm going to walk you through what kinds of posts actually lead to client inquiries and referrals, why you don't need to go viral to grow a practice, and how a simple shift in your content strategy can help you become the go-to expert in your niche without ever feeling salesy or pushy. And so I'm also going to talk about how to position yourself as a trusted authority, even if you're still in the early part of your business, and how to build what I call a silent pipeline of future clients who are watching, who are learning, and waiting for the right time to reach out to you. Because they are there, we see it every single day. So if you're ready to make LinkedIn actually work for your practice and not just be another box to check off, then this episode is for you, and we're going to show you how to do that. So let's dive in. So let's talk about something that might surprise you. Even if you haven't gotten a client from LinkedIn yet, there are professionals who are doing this every single day. In fact, it's working really well for them, and not because they have a huge audience or any fancy marketing teams. We have clients that experience this, and what happens is they post something, and on the surface, it looks like maybe that post on LinkedIn didn't do well. It didn't go viral. It didn't get hundreds of likes. It barely had any public engagement. But let me tell you something behind the scenes, we have clients telling us that they're getting multiple messages, people saying things like, "Hey, I've been following your content for a while, and this post really hit home. Can we actually chat? I'd love to have a conversation with you." And that's what I mean when I say LinkedIn is quietly working in the background. It's not about chasing vanity metrics. And I really want to stress this because it can feel overwhelming when you're on LinkedIn and you see your colleagues getting, hundreds of likes or people writing comments on it. And what you need to understand is the message has to resonate with your audience. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a whole bunch of likes and a whole bunch of comments. We use the test. Are there conversations being driven to your direct message box? That's how we measure success on LinkedIn. So here's what's even more exciting. You really don't need to post every day, right? You do need to post consistently, but not every day. And you don't need to be clever or perfect or even loud. You just need to show up with value consistently for the audience that you want to attract. And the reason this works so well is because we're not just trying to reach the masses, we're trying to reach the right people. And maybe that's a handful of family lawyers who can refer clients to your mediation practice. Maybe it's high net worth individuals going through a divorce. Maybe it's therapists or financial planners who can become referral partners. Maybe it's companies who need workplace mediation. Okay, so when these people keep seeing your name, your ideas, your insights, one important thing happens. You stay top of mind. And when they're ready to refer, ready to buy, ready to hire you, you're going to be the first person they think of. Okay, so that's really, really important. So, as a quick reminder, if you have ever received a message that starts with, "I've been following you for a while," that's proof that this is your silent pipeline in action. Okay. I really want to stress this because many people don't pay attention to that. And it might not feel loud, it might not feel instant, but trust me, it is working. And it's working right now for professionals who post consistently each week with clarity, purpose, and just a little courage. All right, let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Because one of the biggest reasons lawyers, mediators, and divorce professionals don't lean into LinkedIn as they should is this idea that they're too late to the game. And they'll say things like, "There are already too many people posting," or "I missed my window," or "I don't think my clients are even on here." So let me be very clear. That's simply not true. And here's the stat I want you to remember. As I said before, only 6% of LinkedIn users post content consistently. That means 94% of people on LinkedIn are just scrolling, watching, and lurking. Which means that if you're part of that 6% who's actually showing up, even just once a week, you've got a massive visibility advantage. So you don't need to be the loudest voice. You don't need 10,000 followers. You just need to be present with a message that speaks directly to your audience. Now, what does this mean in real terms? It simply means if you're a professional posting thoughtful content, you're probably one of the very few in your profession and local area that are actually doing it. Okay? If you are a professional who is sharing educational human focus posts, you're likely the only one in your network that's doing this in a way that builds trust before someone ever calls you. And if you're a professional who's explaining things like hidden costs, emotional impact, financial blind spots, your content is standing out because no one else is talking about it the way you are. Here's what I really want to drive home. This is not a crowded space yet, but it will be. And the longer you wait to start building your visibility, your content library, and your referral network on LinkedIn, the harder it's going to be later. Because here's what's happening. More professionals are starting to see that this platform isn't just for job seekers, it's a marketing engine for smart professionals who want to grow on their own terms. And once more of your competitors start to show up, posting insights, building relationships, and staying top of mind, it's going to become so much harder for your voice to rise above the noise. So, right now, you have an early mover advantage. Even if you're starting small, you're still going to be ahead of the wave. And that's what I tell our clients all the time. Start now, not when you feel ready, but now. Now that you have more time, start now so that by the time you need new leads or better referrals, your network already knows who you are, what you do, and why they can trust you because visibility builds over time. It's not an overnight thing. And the posts that you write this month may bring in a client 4 months from now, but only if you start showing up now, right? So take advantage of this window while it's still open. And you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be present. Okay, let's take a moment to bust through some of the most common myths that keep really smart professionals just like you from using LinkedIn effectively. Because even after hearing everything that we've covered so far, that it's already working for others, that you only need to post consistently, and that the window is wide open, I know that there's probably still some doubts that are creeping up for you. So I want to tackle some of these head on. And excuse number one is I don't have anything valuable to say. And I hear this all the time from lawyers, mediators, divorce professionals. But here's the truth. You absolutely do have something valuable to say, especially to people who are earlier in the journey than you are. So if you're working with clients, learning your niche, or even navigating your own growth in the profession, those are all things that your audience can relate to. And often it's the real down to earth posts from newer professionals that resonate the most because they're more authentic. So, no, you don't need 20 years of experience to speak with authority. You just need a point of view and a willingness to share. Excuse number two, I don't know what to post. So, here's the thing. If you've ever had more than 3 conversations with clients in the last month, you already have post ideas. Okay. So, what do people keep asking you? What's a common misunderstanding that you find yourself clearing up over and over? What's something that surprised you in a recent case, a consultation, or mediation? Those are all content prompts. So, the key thing here is just speak in plain language, answer real questions, and share what you wish people knew before they reached your office. Okay, excuse number 3 is my posts don't get likes, so it's obviously not working. So let me stop you right there. You're not a content creator chasing algorithms. You are a service professional building trust. So your goal on LinkedIn is not to go viral. Your goal is to be seen by the right people consistently enough that when they need someone with your expertise, they think of you first. And so here's the quiet truth that many people may not tell you. The best leads often come from the people who never like or comment on your posts. So they read your posts, they watch how you show up, and when the timing is right, they reach out because they already trust you. And so this is what we call the silent pipeline. And it's real. We see this at SG and Associates all the time. I can't tell you how many clients come to us through LinkedIn and they have never liked or commented on a post ever. And, it's interesting because we know the statistics are telling us that people are lurking on LinkedIn. The impressions for your posts should tell you that people are reading them. Okay. They may not be liking them or commenting, but here's the bottom line. If you've been holding back from showing up on LinkedIn because you think you don't have enough value to add, or maybe you don't have enough experience yet, or maybe you believe no one's paying attention, you're actually sitting on one of the most powerful business development tools out there. And you just have to start using it to see the benefits. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent, clear, and client focused. By the way, if you're finding this episode valuable, I've covered related topics in past episodes that can help deepen your understanding. So be sure to check out those episodes. I'll drop the links in the show notes so you can easily find them. Okay, here's another shift I want you to make in how you think about LinkedIn. So you need to stop thinking of it as a place to post content only. I need you to start thinking of it as your online networking room. Seriously, LinkedIn is like a daily legal or professional conference happening online, okay? Because the conversations are happening, the introductions are happening, the referrals are happening. And the question I have for you is, are you showing up in that room? So you don't need to be in coffee meetings 5 days a week to grow your business. You can use LinkedIn to do the exact same thing, but from your office, from your living room, or between meetings. Because when you consistently share value, when you comment thoughtfully and message others with genuine interest, something important happens. You start to build relationships. And those relationships are the foundation for everything from referrals to collaborations, to podcast invites, to webinar co hosts, to strategic introductions. The list can go on. Okay. And this is happening every day. And it's happening behind the scenes for professionals who treat LinkedIn like a relationship building platform, not just a place to promote themselves. And this is exactly what we help our clients do. And very often, when our clients come to us, they are surprised at what we can do for them to get them visible on LinkedIn, to get those referrals coming in. And so when you approach it this way as a digital room where your peers, clients, and referral partners are already hanging out, everything changes. You stop feeling like you're posting into the void and you start realizing, hey, I'm showing up where the right people can see me, can trust me, and connect with me. So it's just like walking into a conference, shaking a few hands, and getting introduced to someone who says, I've actually been looking for someone like you. Except the only difference, you didn't have to fly anywhere, you didn't have to work a room, and you just had to show up online and be generous with your knowledge. So if the idea of traditional networking feels exhausting, here's an alternative. Use LinkedIn intentionally. Use it as your daily online networking room because you're going to be surprised by how quickly opportunities start to show up once you do. All right, now that we've covered what's not working, let's talk about what actually is. Because here's the very good news. You don't need a complicated strategy. You don't need to post every day. And you definitely don't need to become some kind of social media influencer. All you need is a simple, repeatable system that builds trust over time. So here's what to focus on instead. Firstly, you need to focus on resonance, not reach. Forget about going viral. That's not the goal here. The goal is to connect with the right people, meaning your ideal clients and referral partners, by posting things that feel useful, personal, or insightful to them. Even if a post only gets a few likes, if one of those people becomes a client or sends a referral, guess what? That's a win, right? So instead of chasing the algorithm, focus on connection. And you also need to look at starting with the pain point, okay? Most people scroll fast when they're going through LinkedIn, and you've got about 1 second to grab their attention. So always start your post with a sentence that speaks directly to your reader's biggest challenge, frustration, or fear. So think about, here's what I wish more divorcing parents knew. Or if you're a therapist supporting clients through separation, read this. Things like that really get people's attention. It's a hook. And the first line is everything, and it's what really gets them to stop scrolling. You also need to make just one point per post, and this is a big one. Don't try to cram multiple big ideas into one update. Your goal is for clarity, not complexity. Okay, so pick one message, one story, or one tip, and just drive it home. Simpler is always stronger. And you also need to add your take and not just the facts, right? Anyone can report on the legal news or share generic information about the industry, but what makes you stand out is your point of view. Tell us what you think. Explain why this issue matters. Share a lesson learned from your experience, right? This is what makes you unique. So, this is why it's important to not just take the facts and to add your perspective as a professional. And that's what turns a post into thought leadership, really. And we know that thought leadership builds trust. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to comment strategically. So your own posts matter, but comments on other people's posts are just as powerful. Okay. Thoughtful, insightful comments get seen by their entire network. They show that you're active, you're engaged, and that you're someone worth connecting with. So make it a part of your routine to comment on a few posts every day, ideally from the people that you'd love to collaborate with, that share the same audience as you, or they are your ideal client. Okay. And finally, you need to stay consistent. So the number of posts a week needs to be consistent. So if you're going to post once a week, make sure it's every week. Ideally, when you're first starting out, 3 posts is a great place to start if you can post 3 consistently. If you can't, stick to what you can do consistently because it's not about the volume, it's about the rhythm. People are becoming used to seeing your work and they will expect it when you post consistently. Think of it as watering a plant. One post won't change much, but week after week, guess what? Something is starting to grow. Okay, so the bottom line is your goal isn't to impress people. It's really just to stay visible, to be helpful, and to stay top of mind for the people who matter most. Because when the time comes when someone needs a mediator, a lawyer, a divorce professional, they're not going to Google. They're going to message you first because you're the one that they are reading about and learning from. All right, so we've talked a lot about content and consistency. And I want to be honest here. Content alone is not going to grow your practice, okay? Yes, it's going to build awareness, and yes, it's going to build important relationships, the kind that lead to real referrals and real business and real collaboration and client introductions. But you do need to go one step further. And that's where direct messaging comes in. So let me clarify right away. I'm not talking about spammy cold pitches like, oh, let's hop on a call so I can sell you something. No, those don't work. I'm talking about authentic outreach, the kind of direct messages that open doors for real connection, especially with referral partners who serve the same audience as you do. So, who are we talking about? If, for example, you're a divorce mediator, your ideal referral partner might be family lawyers, therapists, or financial planners. And if you're a collaborative lawyer, you might want to build relationships with parenting coordinators, divorce coaches, or real estate agents. Maybe you're a divorce financial analyst, and your strongest partners might be lawyers or mediators who don't offer what you do. Okay. And you can connect with all of them right now on LinkedIn, not by selling, but by starting a conversation. And it can be as simple as, hey, John, I've been following your content and really admire your approach. Would love to learn more about your work. Or something like, wondering if there's room for collaboration. We seem to be supporting similar clients. Would love to learn more about what you do. That's it. Like very simple, non-spammy approaches. No hard sell, no pressure, just genuine connection. And when done well, these conversations can turn into co-marketing opportunities, trust-based referrals, and eventually a very steady stream of client introductions from professionals who believe in what you do. So you can't just message 2 people a month and hope things take off. Okay? You need to have enough conversations in motion to actually build momentum. And that's where most professionals fall short. They post, they wait, and they don't really start meaningful conversations that get traction. So it's important that you unlock this pipeline so that you can fill your calendar with the right people. And at SG and Associates, this is one of the things we help our clients do every single day. We don't just write content, we help them start meaningful conversations, connect with the right referral partners, and get booked every single week with people who can support and refer to their practice. And I've seen this happen over and over again. Clients go from zero outreach to building very strong professional networks just by using DMs strategically. And so here's the winning combination, right? It's consistent content so people know who you are, plus intentional outreach so they talk to you. And that's where the real magic happens. So if you're interested in learning how we can help you do this, I encourage you to sign up for a strategy call. You can find the link in the show notes. So let me bring this home. We've covered a lot in this episode, from how content quietly builds your credibility to why consistent posting works even when engagement is low, to how DMs can turn casual connections into real referral partnerships. And the question now is, what should you do next? So here's what I would recommend. Start small. Pick one idea from today's episode and take action on it this week. Maybe that means finally writing that LinkedIn post that's been sitting in your drafts. Maybe it means reaching out to 3 new professionals that you'd love to collaborate with. Or maybe it means just carving out 30 minutes a week to be visible on purpose instead of just lurking. Whatever it is, please take that first step, because the professionals who are getting traction on LinkedIn, they're not doing anything magical. They're just doing the basics consistently and intentionally. And this can work for you too. So if you're interested in turning this into a repeatable system, that's exactly what we do at SG & Associates. We help lawyers, mediators, and divorce professionals create the kind of content that gets noticed by the right people. We help them book weekly conversations with referral partners who actually send you clients. And we also help book weekly meetings with your end clients, with people who actually need your services. And we build a steady stream of visibility that works even when you're busy serving clients. Because this isn't about overnight growth or cookie cutter marketing. It's really just about creating a relationship-based system that brings in leads, grows your network, and gets your name out there without feeling salesy, spammy, or overwhelming. So if that's what you've been looking for, we'd love to help you. You can book a free strategy call with me. The link is in the show notes. Okay, one last reminder. LinkedIn is working right now. It's actually working for the people who are showing up with value, with consistency, and with intention. And it can work for you too. I really want to stress that. You don't need to post every day. You don't need to go viral. You just need to show up and start connecting with the right people. And if you want to do that faster, we're here when you're ready. So thanks for listening. And remember, serve first, sell later. Thanks for tuning in today. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes packed with actionable strategies to grow your practice. See you in the next episode.